In this video today, I've arrived back right here in Miami on board Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. I'm about to ship hop over to my next cruise ship, Carnival Horizon, and all I can say is it's been quite the ride over the last few days cruising with Virgin. If you missed out on any of the action on here, don't worry, you can check out the links in the video description at the end of the video to catch up. In this episode, we are heading across the port to board Carnival Horizon, and therefore starting our next series together here on YouTube. This time I'm going to be exploring what Carnival Cruise Line offers cruisers from Florida, and also exploring 3 ports in Jamaica, Cayman Islands and Mexico, so stay tuned. If you do enjoy this video, it would be amazing if you'd give it your like, and also click subscribe to join me on so many more adventures going forward. You can also join the channel today to unlock exclusive benefits. Anyway, enough talk, let's get started. Guys, good morning and welcome to Miami in Florida. Now that means that today is the day that I need to get off of Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady and board my next ship, which is just waiting over here behind me at the moment. So hopefully you're going to come with me as I show you what it's like to disembark from a Virgin cruise and what it's like to board a Carnival cruise. So we're going to look at a couple of things in this video. But first up, let me take you back down to my cabin and just catch up quickly on this 4-night cruise, because it's been quite the experience. So yeah, I'll see you down there. Do you know what, guys? Weirdly, this cruise feels like it started 10 weeks ago, but it also feels like it started 10 minutes ago. It's very, very strange this morning. Now, the last 4 nights have been amazing. Like, to give Virgin their credits and to give them their due, they know exactly how to do this. It's gone really, really well. There's a few niggles with the Virgin product that I'll put a separate video on to talk to you about, because I think it's really important that we be honest with each other on this, because yeah, fine, they deliver a beautiful ship and they deliver a really strong experience in some areas. There's also some other bits where I'm like, guys, just don't change what you know works. Like, the cruise industry has been running for years and years and years and years and years, and it works. So some of it, why change it? Now, I'm actually looking forward to getting on to my next ship, because the bedding on here has genuinely, this has been some of the cheapest bedding that I think I've ever slept in. The bed has got like a really fluffy mattress protector on it that then moves. It's not actually fixed to the bed and you can't fix it to the bed. So yeah, a bit of a strange feeling, because as much as I've had a great time, I'm just really looking forward to getting on to the next ship so that I can get a full night's sleep, because I know that the bed on my Carnival Panorama cruise was really, really comfortable. So yeah. It says a lot when Carnival realistically is about, what, half or 2/3 of the price of this. So Virgin, if you're listening to this, buy some decent bedding. Like, what even is this? Anyway, look, enough from me here. I'm going to try and get a coffee and get off the ship. Now, when I get on to Carnival Horizon, I will talk to you a little bit about this ship hopping life that I'm doing at the moment, because amazingly, quite a lot of you guys are interested in how that works and how do you just get on another cruise ship when you're on a different one in the morning. So I'll fill you in on that when we get on to Carnival Horizon. But look, for now, let's go and get off of Virgin's Scarlet Lady. Here we go, it's time to leave this adult-only cruise ship behind and head further up the dock to board our first family-friendly fun ship on the east coast of the US. Before we go anywhere, it's time to head to the coffee shop for a much-needed caffeine injection. It's great that the coffee shop is open so you don't have to use the buffet format on Virgin. And then I listened to probably the most upsetting announcement of the whole cruise.
Ahoy sailors, we know it's hard, but it's time to go. We hope you've had a great time with us and that you spread the word to everyone about your epic time on board. We hate goodbyes, so we hope to see you again soon. At this time, we're calling all sailors who are not staying with us for the next voyage to please proceed to the gangway on deck number 7 midship for disembarkation. Thank you and safe travels.
You heard her. Let's get out of here. It was then time to head down the gangway and into the amazing Virgin Voyages terminal that I told you about a few episodes ago. One really cool feature was this Recycle the Band station. I'll have shown you that you wear a wearable band on board your Virgin cruise. When you disembark the ship, you can choose to recycle it here, which therefore lessens your environmental impact. Would you believe how quiet the baggage hall was when I went down? I must have been the final passenger off, which I found amazing. Here's out the front of the terminal. It's so bright, it's so airy. I was incredibly impressed with the whole experience. While I didn't use any of these facilities, here's all your options when you disembark your Virgin Cruise. So whether you're using a bus, a taxi, getting picked up, or a few other of those options, you're going to be absolutely fine. Here's the pickup area. There is so much room. Again, so impressed. As you know, I wasn't being picked up. For me, it was a short walk up a couple of docks, and that's where I would reach the Carnival terminal. Up here, it feels very, very different to the Virgin terminal, and you'll see that just by having a look for yourself. The first thing that I would say is that we've left the maybe more premium adult luxury side behind, and we're now entering a much more fun environment. Even with the news ticker above the front door, everything in here is trying to create a really fun vibe, and you'll see that as we go through. I would say that although it was busy outside the terminal at the front, when you went inside, you almost entered the Disneyland of cruise ship check-ins. It was line after line after line after line, but everything constantly moved, so at no point were you standing still. Look at this part of the terminal. This is after you go through check-in. I couldn't take any photos or videos going through check-in, and then it was time to board this fun ship. Let's get up this gangway and onto this cruise ship. I usually find that when I board a cruise ship, I get taken into a really impressive atrium area. However, on here, you were led immediately through a corridor with staterooms on either side, which was really unusual. That may be due to the fact that suitcase pandemonium was happening all around the ship. Every elevator lobby had suitcases waiting to make their way up to passenger cabins. I decided that this was a little bit too stressful for me. I didn't want to wait for an elevator, so I just dragged my hand luggage bag up to the top deck to soak in some of the views. What better place to start your holiday than up here on the deck? I absolutely fell in love with this ship from the minute I got on board. Anyway, let me hand over to myself up on the top deck to give you some of my initial thoughts. Guys, would you believe it? It's midday, I'm on the ship, I've had lunch, and everything is done. Muster's done. Now, the only thing I need to do is wait until I can get into my cabin to dump my bag off, so I am carrying my bag for a bit now. But as you can see, Scarlet is right behind me now. I need to put my glasses back on. Scarlet's right behind. I don't know who will sail out first. I really hope we go last, because you'll get some amazing pictures here today. But one thing that is very clear, just looking at Scarlet there, is that Virgin have done a very good job at designing a ship that looks beautiful in a city. And what we learned over the last couple of videos is that that ship also looks immaculate docked in Caribbean blue waters. So yeah, really, really impressed. Anyway, look, I've got about an hour and a half before my room's ready, so I am going to go and chill out. Let me show you a couple of different venues on Carnival Horizon. Okay, we're now in the cabin, and before I talk to you about anything, let me show you around, because I think this cabin is, well, it's definitely a lot bigger than the one on Virgin, and it definitely feels a lot brighter than the one on Virgin as well. So look, let me show you. Okay guys, check out my little inside cabin. Do you know what? I'm pretty impressed with this for one person. This is going to be totally fine. It's going to be really comfortable for the next couple of nights. So I'm on this ship for 6 nights. And this will be great. So what I would say is it feels so much bigger than last week. Whether or not it's just the late... Well, no, it must be a bigger room actually, because it's a full two twinned bed approach. So if you look at this here, where that sort of dips, that must be a twin bed that's pushed together. But do you know what? I'm laughing. I've still got these wristbands on. They will need to come off. Well, now actually. But yeah, that will be absolutely fine. I've slept fine in that before. I will give you a full room tour of this cabin, but I'll just fly around really quickly. So if you're interested in seeing the full tour, then just jump over to my channel and you can check it out on there. But in here, you've got storage. So you've got, well, some of my bags down there at the moment, but fine, decent amount in there. And then more in there. There's a safe, which is always handy. There's always my tip, if you're travelling, just make sure you put your passport in the safe. All it takes is that passport to go a walk one day and you are totally screwed. Especially me this year, because I need to then get on another ship, and then another ship, and then another ship. So yeah, you've got telly up there, that's a fridge down there. And this, guys, oh my goodness, this is like my most loathed thing that cruise lines have started doing. So this is basically for the beach towels, and it means that you can take them out, but if you don't return it, Carnival will bill you $22 per towel. And then new towels are available for purchase. I don't know who's purchasing cruise ship towels, but yeah, maybe let me know in the comments if you've done that before. I'd be very intrigued to know why and where you use them. Anyway, you've then got the bathroom, which I know we're not going to talk about that. I'm not even going to mention it. Very blue, very, very blue. I put a couple of pictures of this on from my last cruise. I think it was maybe a reel that I put up, and everyone was laughing at how blue it was, but very blue, very yellow. Anyway, look, let me get comfy again, and I'll have a quick chat with you right there before we head up for Sailaway. Yeah, so hopefully I can actually take these bracelets off while I talk to you. Hopefully you have, well, got a decent feel for what my room looks like this week. This is going to be good. It's going to be really, I think it's going to be really comfy. It also feels really quiet. So I'm on deck 7, and I usually like to book a cabin that's not got anything except other cabins all the way around it. So that's exactly the case with this. There's the Havana Club 2 decks down. I'm not sure what that'll be like, but I'm right beside the Havana rooms that you pay so much more money for. So they're now off, by the way. So I'm thinking that it should be alright. I need it. Sounds great at the moment, but yeah, maybe hold off until midnight tonight and see if it remains perfect. But anyway, look, so my plan for the afternoon is that I'm going to go from here up and do Sailaway. Now, Miami, if you've never cruised out Miami, it's absolutely glorious. It was looking as though there was quite a lot of cloud coming in earlier, so I'm hoping, obviously I have no idea, I haven't found the webcams on here yet, but hopefully it's not raining, because that'll really, well, pardon the pun, but put a dampener on Sailaway. So I'm hoping that it's still sunny out there so that I can show you what it looks like, because honestly the water is just absolutely beautiful when you leave Miami, and you get an amazing view all the way up the beach. But look, you probably don't need me to tell you what we're going to see up there, because you'll see it for yourself in a sec. So how about we go from here up to the top deck, and I'll catch up with all of you on, I guess, how this back-to-back thing is working, and some considerations that you need to have if you are looking at that type of lifestyle, and then also what I'm getting up to tonight. So see you up there. Let's get this ship out to sea so that we can get the full Carnival experience cruising from the east coast of the USA. After I got up to the top deck, there was about 5 minutes before the lines started to come off, which was when the ropes that attach the ship onto the pier get dropped, and then it was time to make our way out of Miami and out to sea. It was so exciting. Now, rather than talk to you constantly on here, I'm going to leave you to enjoy some shots of what Sailaway looked like from Miami. We even got to pass a brand new cruise ship. This ship coming up now is MSC Seascape, which at the point of this cruise was brand new. So it was really cool to get to sail past a ship that not too many people had seen yet. I didn't get on board this ship while I was in Miami due to the fact that MSC were charging double fare for solo travellers. So MSC, if you are listening to this, please stop that. That would be great. Anyway, let me show you Miami.
It's getting hard to talk.
might be watching this thinking, hold on, I thought Carnival was a fun ship. All that we've seen are amazing Sailaway views leaving the port. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do not worry, because may I now introduce to you the Carnival Sailaway party. I will leave you to enjoy this, and I will see you all down in the cabin as soon as we're finished. We're going to think about heading for dinner soon because I am ravenous. So I'll talk to you about the plan for tonight shortly. But I did want to just pause for a minute and kind of put Carnival Horizon to the side for a minute and just focus on this sort of long-term cruise living situation. Because the more people that I've met on the ships, the more they say, oh, we'd love to know more about like how you're actually finding it or the challenges that you're having. And I realised that I haven't actually incorporated too much of that into my vlogs. So I've got, I think, 4 things that I wanted to run through with you to, I guess, give you a bit of a feel for how I'm getting on with this and kind of a couple of the struggles that I've got at the moment. Now, the first one I wanted to talk to you guys about is connectivity, and I really, really, really hope that this isn't going to be an issue 2, 3, 4 years down the line on cruise ships. But if you look at the world of the internet, at the moment, I can go on some cruises where I can be fully connected the entire time. So on this ship, for example, I will be connected the whole time because the Wi-Fi package wasn't too expensive. So it's cost me $132 to be connected for 6 nights. But on some ships, it is just so expensive that, to be perfectly honest, I can't afford to be connected all the time. My budget just wouldn't allow it. So on some ships that I've been on this year, the Wi-Fi is about €37 per day, which is completely absurd. Like, yeah, fine, that gives you streaming capabilities, but €37 a day. Like, come on. Like, I'm really hoping that over the next couple of years will come down as more prominent providers are coming to the forefront offering ships high-speed internet. So yeah, cross everything on that, because that kind of leads me right into like the homesickness point. And this is why I think it's got to change. Like, when I was on my European leg of my travels this year, I found it really easy, to be honest, being away from home, because the time difference was only an hour or 2. So it meant if I got off the ship and got into a coffee shop at 10 a.m, it was lunchtime in the UK, so I could speak to people. Whereas the challenge that I had on my first couple of ships, I got particularly homesick when I was kind of going down California and going towards the Panama Canal, because A, the Wi-Fi was just so expensive on the ship, and B, by the time I would get off in port, so if it was midday, it's already 7 p.m, 8 p.m, 9 p.m. in the UK. So you're very aware of the fact that you just struggle to keep in touch with people. So there's some of my friends who I haven't spoken to be honest, I haven't spoken to for months, because the time difference is just a bit of a nightmare at times. So yeah, connectivity / homesickness is one that, the latter, I wouldn't consider myself to ever be a homesick person, but I definitely have felt it a bit on the last couple of ships. Now, the next thing that you definitely need to think about, if you were to consider this kind of long-term ship life, let's call it ship life, that sounds quite cool, but if you were to consider this, you need to think about laundry. Now, this is one that, to be perfectly honest, when I planned and booked this year, I completely overlooked laundry, because I just thought it would work itself out, it would be really straightforward. But some ships, my goodness, talking about the price of internet, you ought to see how much it is to do a bag of laundry on some of these ships. Now, Costa, earlier in the year, they had an amazing deal where it was like €20 or something, and as long as you could get it in a bag, which, believe me, if I'm rolling it as tight as I can get a lot in that bag. But yeah, you'd get that washed the next day. But there was a ship I was on recently, which will remain nameless, that it was $45 to have the same service done, which, honestly, the equivalent of like £37, £38 to do a bag of laundry is absolutely ridiculous. So I found myself sort of dragging my suitcase full of dirty clothes across Barcelona to go to a laundrette to try and get my clothes done on a day where, like, if I've got 24 hours on land between ships. But situations like today, I would have had to be honest, get Carnival to do a bag of laundry for me. And that's where it's quite clever when you can work it out. So I read into it, and Virgin actually offered me like an elevated loyalty position because I'm cruising with them twice this year. And one of the perks of that is that I got a free bag of laundry. So yesterday I just threw all my clothes in a bag and they all got freshly laundered for me to come on this ship, which is excellent because that saved quite a lot of money on here. Now, the final thing that I wanted just to touch on before we head to dinner was the topic of like holiday cruise ship life versus residential cruise ship life. Now, it's a bit unusual, this one, for me, because I'm ship hopping the whole year rather than being a resident on one ship for a prolonged period of time. And I used to go on a cruise, and to be honest, I would eat all day, I would eat all night, I would drink all day, and I would drink all night, and I'd go home feeling a bit ill, and also feeling about double the size that I would on it. Now, you have to change that when you're spending so much time on these ships, and people say to me all the time, like, oh my goodness, you must be putting on so much weight. And the reality is, you don't, because you force yourself to go for a walk, you force yourself into the gym. I was going to say you don't have that second ice cream, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite because I do. But you need to definitely make some choices. So for example, I usually only drink 1 or 2 nights a week on a cruise, and I now have grown really fond of having a night in and either ordering room service or going up to the buffet and just eating dinner quick and then coming back and chilling out. Because if you're on the go all the time, you exhaust yourself. And to be perfectly honest, that's what's happened to me tonight, because I've just got off Scarlet Lady. I have, for 4 whole nights, I've eaten loads. I've drank loads, which isn't ideal. And I'm not asking for sympathy because it's entirely self-inflicted. And I'm sort of sitting here right now thinking, I am knackered, I'm so tired. So yeah, couple of things that you need to think about. Now, I will do a separate video to fill you in a little bit more and in a little bit more detail on some of those things, and also talk to you about how I'm getting around various issues, because connectivity, for example, the solution to that isn't to just get money to buy cruise ship Wi-Fi. There's so many other, like internet providers, for example, that you can get dongles for, that you can buy eSIMs for, and actually you get around needing to buy Wi-Fi. So watch out for that. Either it will be on the channel by the time this video goes live, or it will be coming soon. So yeah, stay tuned. But look, the plan for tonight, I am going to head down to the main dining room because I looked on the menu earlier and they've got Caesar salad and they've also got strip loin steak, which should be pretty good. Then it's the Welcome Aboard show, which is held in the Liquid Lounge, so this ship's version of a theatre, and that's hosted by the cruise director. So that was really good on Panorama, so I'm hoping that will be equally as good on here. And then, to be honest, it's going to be bedtime. So yeah, I'll catch up with you at the very end of the night. But for now, let's go and eat dinner. And just like that, the night is over. And I'll tell you one thing, I am delighted. I cannot wait to go to bed tonight. But first impressions on Carnival Horizon are, to be honest, really strong. I am a big fan of this class of ship. So Carnival Panorama delivered a really great cruise, and I've got really high hopes that I'm going to have a ball over the next 6 nights as well. Now, this itinerary, we're at sea tomorrow, then Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman, and then Cozumel, Mexico, before having another day at sea to go back to Miami. So the next episode that you guys will see from this series will be Jamaica. Now, Jamaica, I'm not going to tell you too much at the moment, but I'm currently undecided what the plan is going to be. So I've got 24 hours to, I guess, quickly decide what to do because you guys are all coming with me. So, look, wherever you're watching this from, I hope that you've enjoyed seeing the tail end of Scarlet Lady and the beginning of Carnival Horizon. Now, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, it would be amazing if you could jump down and give the video a thumbs up because that just helps to push my content to more people. But for now, a very good night, and I am going to dive into this bed and I will see all of you soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.